West Ham against Lille in the BoyleSports Cup at the London Stadium this afternoon in what should be our final friendly of pre-season before we take on Sunderland in the Premier League next weekend. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to the Premier League coming back. I've been looking at the fixtures, who's playing, who's on TV, what games I'm watching next week. Although saying that, got Championship football this weekend. We've got the Community Shield tomorrow as well. Come on, Crystal Palace. Anyway, I say should be because there's a behind closed doors friendly, but no one knows when it is or was. It could have been yesterday. But we would have heard, right? We normally hear these things. We played Ipswich twice behind closed doors and we knew the results and the scorers of both games. So I think if we played yesterday, we would know about it. Maybe they're playing right now when I'm recording this at 9 in the morning on Saturday. Perhaps they're playing now because the players involved in that, you would imagine, would be the ones not participating at the London Stadium. So we've got plenty of players. We're able to field two completely different 11s and having a handful of players who are perhaps substituting both games easy. You'd imagine it's not tomorrow, right? Maybe it is. Maybe it is on Sunday. I don't know. But for once, West Ham's actually kept something secretive secret. They've actually kept behind closed doors friendly behind closed doors. We don't know unless obviously it happens tomorrow and we get told straight away what the resulting scorer is. But that's why I'm a bit, when is it then? I feel like we would know. Regardless, kind of irrelevant really, isn't it? Because the main exhibition is at the London Stadium this afternoon, 3 o'clock kickoff. West Ham against Lille, and I think we're going to see Graham Potter's outfield 10 that's going to start against Sunderland. Now, obviously, we don't know, well, we expect Hermansen to sign, and he may start against Sunderland, but he's not going to play today. And I hope those going today, I hope you get an old school announcement. You don't get old school transfers anymore where they just rock up as a surprise, unless it's Porto. They had one last week where they just brought him out onto the pitch before the game, pre-season. No one knew about it. No one knew about it at all. Just complete secret signing. Loved that. Now, also, I would just like to address, I appreciate we're a fan channel, we discuss transfers, etc. I'm aware of that, right? But we don't leak it. We don't leak the news. The news is already out there. We're just discussing what's already out there. Anyway, so we all know Hermansen is signing. But I just hope that, okay, we can't keep that part old school, but I hope we do the announcement old school. But there's no talk, no one leaks he's been signed, the medical's done, none of that. I hope it's just a little bit quiet. Everyone's talking about the game. And 2:45 today, Hermansen comes out onto the pitch with a shirt, with a scarf, whatever, and those there today get to see the announcement of a new signing. That would be nice, wouldn't it? It'd be romantic and sweet, and I think romance in football is getting rarer and rarer, but I still like it. Anyway, those going today, I hope you have an absolute blinder of a day and you get to see Hermansen announced. So we're not going to see him today. I think what we will see is the 10 outfielders that Potter will be starting against Sunderland next week. Got a good idea of it against Bournemouth in our final friendly in America. I was surprised how serious he took that friendly and he gave them 70 minutes before he made any subs. But I've still got a couple of question marks over certain players that played in that game, and I think I'm going to get my answer today. We're going to get more evidence today as to who's likely to start against Sunderland. Now, I appreciate we might sign a midfielder this week, and fingers crossed we do. I've been waiting all summer for one. But if we do, I don't think we'd sign him until, Wednesday or Thursday or something. It's maybe just a bit too close to the Sunderland game for him to start. So even if we signed a midfielder for 30-40 million this week, so he's top class, I think you might find he's on the bench for Sunderland at best, which is understandable. So I think we're going to see Potter's outfield 10. I think we're going to know who's starting against Sunderland this afternoon. Anyway, welcome to my match preview of West Ham Lille. I've done one for Bournemouth, one for Everton, and a few people, about 5 people said I'm enjoying these. Can you keep doing them? Here I am. Don't say don't listen to you. I listen to all 5. And also, I enjoy doing them as well, actually. I like having a little chat. So what we're going to do today, we're going to talk about what Potter is probably going to do, and also what I would like to see. Often 2 different things, but I'm going to keep it as close to what Potter's going to do anyway. I'm not going to suggest that I want to see 4-2-3-1 now, whilst I may like to see that, or a 4-3-3. I think it's a bit pointless discussing it. I don't mind people saying I'd rather see 4-3-3, and that's good. That's people's opinions. But for a preview show, like this, I think I might as well stick to what Potter's going to do, if that makes sense. Anyway, before I load up my tactical board, this video is sponsored by our new partners, BoyleSports, and they've got a boost for you today. If you fancy West Ham to beat Lille and a bit of a goal fest, so West Ham to win and both teams to score, it was 5-2. BoyleSports have boosted it to 4-1. Now, if you use our link to sign up, which is in the description below in the pinned comments, you'll get extra free bets as well. You go onto the website organically, you'll get £25 of free bets. But if you use our link, you'll get £40 of free bets. So if you are going to sign up, make sure you use our link and don't miss out on those extra free bets. Now, you've got to deposit at least a tenner and you've got to bet at least a tenner. And then once your first qualifying bet comes to conclusion, that's when you get your free bets. All the terms and conditions are in the description below, so make sure you do have a read. 18 years of over, and please do gamble safely. Gamble responsibly. But got a season-long bet as well, 14-1. I mentioned on yesterday's video. I won't speak about it now, otherwise I'll just drag on and on. But a few people have messaged to say they like it, because I put it together. A few people said, I like what you've done there. I'm on it. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Hammers Chat can land a 14-1 season bet, and in May we'll all be celebrating. I'll tell you what, when we go to play Man U, it's not in the first few fixtures, so whatever it is, hopefully we've already got a Diouf assist, we've got a couple of Bowen goals, and we beat Man U. And then we know one part of the bet's ticked off 100%. Let's go for the rest of it. That would be exciting, and that's what I'm trying to bring, a bit of excitement. And I'm also trying to bring 140 quid to everyone's back pocket if you pop the tenner on. Anyway, massive thank you to BoyleSports for partnering up with us, and links in the description below if you want to get involved. 4-1. Right then, tactical board time. Here we go. Got my wee board here. Areola and goal, like we've discussed. Hermansen won't be here in time. Potter has to prepare. Potter has to go into today's game in training with the assumption Hermansen won't sign. And that is putting Areola in goal. Now, he got a clean sheet against Bournemouth. He was all right in that game as well. Hopefully, he's got a little bit more confidence. So, because we might need him to start against Sunderland. I hope not. But he goes in goal this afternoon. Now, the back three, I feel, is quite locked in, isn't it? Agard, Kilman and Todibo. I feel like that's Potter's back three, and he's set on it. Now, personally, I'm still unsure. I'm still uneasy with this as a back three. I feel like you need a full back in there or a centre back who's very comfortable coming out of defence. And when I say that, I appreciate if you tuned into a couple of previews, you know what I'm going to say. But for those that haven't, it's not dribbling out from the back with the ball, because all them three are all capable of that. All them three are capable of travelling with the ball. It's making the runs off the ball that I think makes a significant difference. Whenever we've seen Scarles in the back three, the runs he makes completely aids whoever's playing left wing back. Because if this was Scarles, he goes on the overlap, he goes on the underlap, he pops up into midfield and pushes someone further forward. And I think that's crucial, and I don't think any of these three do it. And to be honest, I'm not sure if I want to see any of these three do it, because I don't think they'll be good at it. It's hard to call, really. Defensively, you need the traits of a centre-back, but offensively, you need the traits of a full-back, knowing what run to make, when to make the run, when to stay back, when to go forward. It's a very difficult role. The responsibility you've got is quite huge, because if you get it wrong, your defence is exposed. You get it right, offensively, you're a man up, essentially. You're creating an overload. You're helping your teammates. I think it's important, and I would like to see it addressed in the transfer window between now and its shutting. I'll discuss that later this week, maybe. But anyway, I think that will be Potter's back three. I'm still a bit nervous about Agard as well. He's looked good. He's looked all right in pre-season. Don't get me wrong. And this is where I think it's only pre-season is applicable to some things, but not others for me. And I think it's applicable to Agard, because I'm like, well, let's just see him in the Premier League getting tested, where I think he previously struggled. But he's had a decent pre-season. Kilman had a really good performance against Bournemouth. Todibo's started poorly, but has had a good second half of pre-season. So that'll be the back three. We know Wan-Bissaka will be right wing back, and we know Diouf will be left wing back. Wan-Bissaka, there's no point talking about it. I think he was our worst player on the pitch against Bournemouth, but I'm not bothered because I'm not looking at him during pre-season thinking, oh, are you going to be all right for this? I know he's going to be all right. I'm not worried about him at all. Now, Diouf, prior to Bournemouth, I thought he was struggling. I thought he'd come in, he wasn't getting the ball enough, and when he did get it, I thought against Everton he went to ground too easily on a couple of occasions. But against Bournemouth, he was fantastic. Those crosses were superb. We need to keep loading him up down this side. I'm hoping that because of that assist, and although the first one wasn't officially an assist, it was his cross that led to the goal, right? So we can keep loading him up down that left flank. The relationship with the offensive players, the strikers, is already there. His confidence will be up now. He's at home. Playing at London Stadium will help him because he's a new signing. I'm looking forward to him today. Out of everyone on this pitch this afternoon against Lille, he's the one I'm looking forward to seeing the most because he can bring that, I call it the X factor. He can bring that something that no one else in the team's really got. And this is where you can see the difference between a wing back and a fullback playing wing back, in my opinion, of course. Right, moving into midfield. Paqueta's got to remain in there for me. A bit hit and miss against Bournemouth. I think there was some good moments and I think there was some not so good moments. But I think the reward far outweighs the risk. I think if you're going to play a 3-5-2, I think you've got to have at least one midfielder who carries that risk, who takes responsibility and tries to bring creativity to the team. Because if you have three players that are all safe, you're going to really struggle to get the ball further up the pitch. So it's important that you have someone like Paqueta in midfield. I want to see him in there, so I'm going to leave him there. I agree with Potter on this one. Up front, Füllkrug and Bowen. Still not convinced. Would still like to see this variation. A bit of a box midfield with Bowen and Paqueta either side of Füllkrug. I might discuss it in another video. I think our West Ham out of possession, I think we're struggling playing like this. I think there's an obvious weakness, and I think Bournemouth exploited it. But I think switching to box midfield can perhaps remove that weakness. Now that leaves two spaces in midfield, and this is the big question marks, isn't it? Now, personally, I want to see Potts. Did nothing wrong against Bournemouth. He wasn't. I've seen some say he was brilliant. That's their opinion. I don't agree with it. I think he was okay. Don't think he had a bad game. Don't think he had a good game. He was effective, but I don't think we utilised him enough. That's what I should stress here. I don't think it was his fault he wasn't brilliant. I felt in previous games we were happy to give him the ball in this area of the pitch, and he was moving the ball really well. Came off the bench against Man U and he was doing it. Then he started against Everton and he was doing it. Bournemouth, I felt we were more keen to bypass midfield and we were going a little bit more direct with the likes of a Gerd and that going straight to Bowen and Füllkrug, and it was just going past Potts. So I thought he struggled to really make a big impression, but it was more down to tactics than anything else. But he certainly didn't have a bad game, that's for sure. I didn't worry. If anything, I thought he looked comfortable when involved, just wasn't involved enough. And that leaves this little spot here, doesn't it? Let me put the ball there because I don't have a question mark figure. Who goes there? That's the big question. Now, I'm going to keep with what I think right now, and then I'm going to delete a couple of things and do what I think Potter's going to do this afternoon. It's a difficult one because Ward-Prowse has been all right in pre-season. I think he's been okay. He's not been fantastic, but I don't think he's been bad. I think he's just a bit boring, and I think because of that, I think people get frustrated and don't want to see it because boring can sometimes be a hindrance, and it can be. It's not. I'm not saying boring can be mistaken for a hindrance. I think boring can be a hindrance. Can also sometimes be a good thing. Like if you're winning 2-0, actually having someone like him in midfield is a good thing. Where you're keeping the ball, and Mr. Backwards and sideways isn't a bad thing to have in midfield when you're winning. But it's when it's 0-0, that's when you don't really want to see it. You want to see a bit more determination and desire from your midfield to get up the pitch and create things, and he doesn't necessarily always bring that. got Souček. I feel more and more he's just not going to suit the way Potter plays. We've always suspected it. It's not just, I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, I've always thought, I think most West Ham fans have suspected that he might struggle once we get prime Potter ball in. And when you look around the team, most of those players around Souček right now is capable of playing that quick passing. I think Souček's got it in his locker though. We just need to see it. And actually, I think pre-season is where you want to see it. And he looked good when he came on the other night. I thought he looked good. So you start him. And you've got Alvarez with his new number. Needs minutes. Absolutely, he has to get on the pitch today. And he will get on the pitch. But if he's in Potter's plans to start against Sunderland, I think you'll see him from the start. So what would I do? I don't know. I think this is the struggle. This is my struggle. Now, of course, I could put Orford in there, could put Irving in there, could put Phelan in there, could put Rodriguez in there. Not for me. I think I'm looking to. I'm wanting to see something we're going to do against Sunderland here. So I guess my question is, who do I want to see? Who do I want to see start against Sunderland? Souček. And the reason I want to see Souček start against Sunderland is they'll sit back, they'll be pragmatic, they'll play counter-attacking football. I'm very confident how Sunderland will play next season. Home and away. I appreciate first games at home, stadium will be rocking. I think they'll still sit back. And therefore I want to see this guy in the box with this guy out left. So I'd start him today. I'd start Souček. Now, I don't know enough about Lille to know how they're going to play this afternoon. But my aim would be to get him in the team and to see him getting into that box, breaking his neck to get in there. So when Diouf's got the ball and the crosses are coming in, Souček's in the box. That will bring a threat and that should bring goals. So that's what I would do today. And that's how I'd start today. What do I think Graham Potter's going to do? I think he's going to keep 9. Don't think Souček will start. I think it'll be Ward-Prowse. Apologies. Not been well this week, and went out last night. It's a bad combination. Illness and having a few drinks is a bad combination for your throat, isn't it? I'm hoping it clears up before the watch along. At least I've got 2 hours of talking coming up. This is not ideal. Anyway, I think Ward-Prowse will start. I must stress here, this is a prediction. This is what I think Potter will do, not what I want. We've already determined what I want to see. Capiche? I think he'll start Alvarez instead of Potts. I think that's what he'll do today. I don't know. I am a proud NITK. But the proud NITK has been sat here all summer saying we're going to sign Hermansen. In the nose and journalists had 5-6 keepers linked to us. I sat here all summer consistently saying we're going to sign Hermansen. Sometimes the NITK gets things right. Usually we're wrong. But the ITKs also are usually wrong. I think he'll start Alvarez. I'm not convinced Potter's convinced by Potts. And I think Potts started last couple of friendlies because Alvarez was not ready yet. He's only had, this is Alvarez's second week of pre-season training. Because he had that extended break after the Gold Cup. So he only joined up last Monday. So he's had 2 weeks training now. It's not loads. And I think we'll see Potts, by the way. I think he might get an hour, and then we'll see Potts come on. I think that will be one of the first subs. My prediction is Alvarez starts today. And my prediction is, against Sunderland, that we whip him out. And let me get my man ready. And I think this is how we start against Sunderland next week. And as a result of that, I think that's why we'll see Alvarez in midfield. Like I said, I would prefer Potts. It's just a prediction. Anyway, thank you very much. Appreciate you joining me. Get your thoughts into the comments below. Let me know the team you would like to see play today. Try to keep it 3-5-2. You don't have to. You can do what you want. But if we can agree Potter's likely to do 3-5-2, then put your team that you want. Not you can do your predicted team if you want. Just get involved in the comments. I like reading your comments. Get involved. Anyway, you're going to the game. Have a fantastic one. Hope you have a lovely day. Hope you see Hermanson announced. If not, 2:30 back here on this channel. And hopefully, I can speak a bit better then. You know the score by now. Please do drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Excluding NI Chat. And I'll catch you at 2:30.